Hey, I'm Cynthia Martin, and this is my Facebook channel, Cynthia Martin Online. I've used this page for several different things over the last few years. It's probably one of my longer owned pages of what I've had on Facebook, and it seems to be the dumping point of everything that's going on. This gets a copy of it. But I'm going to be switching the focus of this page, and I'm going to attempt to remember, because I usually just post everything over there. I'm going to attempt to change this page into helping those who are working online or who want to work online, who feel like they have a message from the Lord. And I specifically would like to stay with those who have a message, who are Christians in who they are and what they want to do, because I think it's another way that I can help promote the kingdom online. My husband and I started a nonprofit in 2003. It's DL Martin Ministries. So that would be D for Dean, L for middle initial. Lee is what we use, and Martin and Ministries. So DLMM.org. When I married him, he had some videos out already. And so we just continued on with that name. It was a generic name, but it's dlmartinministries.com. So dlmm.org. So we do have that very, very, very generic website that's up that just kind of basically tells a little bit about me and tells a little bit about him. And it'll have buttons to direct out to some of our other websites. What I told you that for is, when we started that nonprofit, the purpose of that nonprofit is to proclaim the gospel utilizing all forms of media, because my husband and I believe very strongly in technology. My husband teaches on technology in relationship to the Bible and end times. That's not my area, but that's what he teaches on. But we believe that that it's such a great platform to be able to share the gospel, to share the kingdom, and to share the truth and the life and that Jesus provides for us. And so it's very important for us to be online. That's a big, huge thing right under being a Christian, is to spread the news. And one of the ways that we feel led to do that, probably because we're kind of talented in that way, specifically my husband is talented he's great with technology. And I, over the years, have learned a little bit. So we started online quite a few years ago, and I've done all kinds of things. We've been associate pastors at local churches. We've been associates in many ministries, and we've always kind of put our ministry over on the side and did a little bit here and there, always working in tandem with another ministry. And just recently, the Lord told us to uncover the vision that he gave us so long ago, and it's time for us to do what he called us to do. And so we resigned our last position and began coming online full time. And so with that, we do a lot of video, we do a lot of teaching. Our local ministry here is called Believer's House. We have a mobile app and a website. You can look that up. It's just called Believer's House. The .house is actually the internet extension. Instead of .org, .com, or .church, it's believers.house. You can check that out. You can download our mobile app that we're just beginning to build out. We'll officially, our planned date is to officially launch in November. So that's exciting. I just received an email today or yesterday, I'm not quite sure, I can't remember, but I just found it today, in which someone subscribed to my email list. If you do that, you'll get put into our emails. And I always, if they respond back as requested at the very beginning, I ask you to hit reply and tell me a little bit about you, and I'll respond back. And so I do watch all of those. It's usually a day, maybe a day or two later, but I do respond to those. But I got a question today. I just spoke at a conference yesterday, and I got a question about someone was starting online, and they had set up a blog, but they hadn't done much with it, and they wanted some advice. And so I want to tell you the same things that I told that person. And so number one, when we decide that we're going to do something online, there are 2 or 3 things that I think it's important and that I've learned and I've heard over and over again. And I think that it's good and it's enough that it should be repeated and that you should consider it. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? And how do you want to do it? You're like, well, that's kind of basic. But if we don't understand the basics, we get confused. And this channel, this page, this Cynthia Martin Online Facebook page is exactly what that happened, because I do have a tendency to get my fingers in a whole bunch of things. And so it gets confusing for my readers. Who is she and what does she do? Does she help people online? Yeah, I will. I'll be glad to help people online up to the point that I can help them. Absolutely. That's what we do, right? I'm gifted by God to be a teacher. So if I know something and someone asks me a question, I'm going to give them the answer, but I'm also going to be strong enough and honest enough to say, I don't know, but you could check with this person, because because I'm a teacher, I'm an avid researcher. So I have lots of information. But what happens is, back to the purpose of Cynthia Martin Online, the Facebook group, and eventually I'll get the website back up, is that I used it as a dumping ground for several other ventures that I had going on, and people who are on this page got confused about what this page is about. I did it. I do it all the time. I have a tendency. So I have to almost have a visual map in front of me that that's what you're doing on this page is what you're doing, and this is what you're talking about. So Cynthia Martin Online, and for you, I'm saying that you need to determine what it is that you want to do. So in this instance, we'll do it over the shoulder view, as I'm switching this page to helping people tell the message of the gospel to Christian entrepreneurs, helping them to get started with the tips and tricks of what I've learned about what not to do. Number 1, don't get confusing as far as doing too many things. Try to determine what it is that you want to do. Now, is that something that you're good at? Is that something that you feel like it's a message from God that God has called you to do? Is it something that you think, well, I could do that? Or is it something that you saw a problem and you know the answer for? Those are a lot of the reasons what we can come up with the what of what we're going to do. The why of what we're going to do it is because we want to get out of the office and we want to start working at home. The why of why we want to do it is we need an extra $500 a month to make bills, because inflation is getting so high that we really need an extra $500 a month. And so that's why we're going to do something online. A why would be you need the freedom of being able to take your laptop and go and see, in my case, go and see your grandchildren at whatever time and still have something going. Right. So there's some freedom to doing some work online. That would be the why. To understand what you're going to do and why you're going to do it are 2 really important things. And then the third thing that I would encourage someone who's thinking about working online or working from home or working on their laptop, there's several avenues. You don't actually have to begin a business. There are lots of ways that you can make money online, working for someone else or assisting someone else. You don't have to be a face forward person like I am. You can be a behind the scenes person. And many of us who are those who have no problem with getting in front of the camera and doing teaching and have no problem being vulnerable and I'll make videos a lot without any makeup and without my hair hardly combed, because I believe it's important to be real and authentic, that everything is not always perfectly in place, right? So many of those kinds of people, me included, need people who will help me behind the scenes. And so I was just talking to someone actually earlier today on another meeting that I have, is I can talk until the day grows old, but ask me to draw a straight line and I can't. I really can't. I have to have a ruler. I can't draw a straight line. I cannot cut straight. I know you might giggle and say, well, didn't you learn that in kindergarten? No, I didn't. I only went to kindergarten half a year. And then my parents moved. And when they moved to the new town, they didn't put me in the rest of kindergarten and they sent me to first grade the next year. I never learned how to cut straight. I cannot cut anything straight. Even with a line, I cannot cut straight. I have to have my husband cut straight. So, there are certain skills that some people have that you think everybody can do. I can't cut straight. I cannot draw straight. I can't draw anything that ends up looking like anything. Even my stick people don't look like people. So, there are gifts that other people have that I have need of, and that other people online have need of. Beyond that, we have need for people who will work with us as far as intercessors and pray for us and be partners with us and those kinds of things as far as ministry is concerned. So the three things that I want to say to kind of get this channel back on online again is that Cynthia Martin Online is being reformed into a video to help people to learn how to work online and all the different opportunities that are available for you to work online or with your computer or from home or from wherever, right? We call it a lifestyle, a laptop lifestyle, right? Whether you have a laptop or a desktop is immaterial. Believe me, a laptop is easier to carry around with you if you're going to move around, or to work from home, or to do something a little bit outside of the box, or even to do some ministry, because you have a message that God has given you. So there are three things: the what, the why, and the how. If you really do some soul searching and write those things down and think about what is it that you want to do, why do you want to do those things, and how do you want to do those things, it will save you a lot of trouble. Don't decide you're going to do a video every day if the idea of a video makes you sick to your stomach. Don't do that. If sitting down and writing a blog gives you a headache, of which it does me, because then I want to turn it into a teaching and I don't know when to stop. So I either have to make it super long or not write at all, right? So I can make it one line or I can make it into a 3-part course, but I have trouble just writing one thing. So it takes a lot more for me to write something than it does for me to sit down and do a video. So I can do them in the car, I do them while I'm walking around my lawn, or I sit down at my desk and I can pull out a video unplanned. So that's easy for me. Do what's easy for you, because you don't want to make it hard. You don't want to make a job, right? You want to make something that flows from you and use your gifts and your talents. So I'm not sure how long I've been talking, but however long I've been talking, I hope that you found some value of this in what I've shared. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to be adding more information about how to work online and talking about different opportunities, from getting into there's lots of customer service type jobs in which you can work from home. You work from your own computer. You can be your own boss, or you can work for someone else. I guess today we would call those remote jobs. There are ministries that you can be involved with. There are a lot of things that are available, from making courses to writing books to doing seminars, doing speaking, all kinds of different avenues in which that you can writing blogs, all that sort of thing. So whether you're a writer, whether you're a speaker, whether you're a videographer, whether you're great with customer service, whatever your venue or your gifts would be, I'm hoping to bring maybe some people in to talk to those different things and talk about the different ways that you can work online and help you. I'll also be sharing with you some of the tools and the tips of things that I use. If they are affiliate, which an affiliate means that I would get a small percentage, just like on Amazon. If I recommend a book, I get a percentage, or I get $1 or $2 if you buy it from my link. I'll be offering those, and I'll be certainly let you know, full disclosure, that this is an affiliate, but I'm not going to try to get you to buy anything that I don't use myself. So I hope that the young lady that responded to my email was blessed with the video that I sent her. And I hope that this is going to be helpful to those of you who are beginning to work online, or who want to work online, or even those who want to write a book. So God bless you, and I will talk to you in a few days.